We kind of just rolled out of bed. So, yeah. Macy's here. Cool. So, let's get started on our backs. So, just laying down, you can let your legs come out long and your arms can come by your sides. If it feels better to put your hands somewhere on your body, or maybe bend your knees and let the soles of your feet find the ground, go ahead and do that. If you have a small animal that you'd like to snuggle while you lay here, go ahead and do that. And then I'm just going to start by reading the Daily Stoic for today. So from this book, The Daily Stoics by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. And the theme for March is awareness. So today's theme is what rules your ruling reason. So Marcus Aurelius says, how does your ruling reason manage itself? For in that is the key to everything. Whatever else remains, be it in the power of your choice or not, it is but a corpse and smoke. So they go on to dissect this and say, the Roman satirist Juvenal is famous for this question. I'm not going to read it in this language, but it translates to, who watches the watchman? In a way, this is what Marcus is asking himself, and what you might ask yourself throughout the day. What influences the ruling reason that guides your life? This means an exploration of subjects like evolutionary biology, psychology, neurology, and even the subconscious. Because these deeper forces shape even the most disciplined, rational minds, you can be the most patient person in the world, but if science shows we make poor decisions on an empty stomach, what good is all that patience? So don't stop at stoicism, but explore the forces that drive and make stoicism possible. Learn what underpins this philosophy you're studying, how the body and mind tick. Understand not only your ruling reason, the watchman, but whoever and whatever rules that too. So I think that's kind of saying, like, why are you doing what you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe, in a sense. So maybe for today we take a little deeper look into why we're doing what we're doing. Where is that coming from? So wherever you are, if you're on your back, if you're seated like I am, let's take a big breath in, really down, and a big breath out. And let's move our hands to our belly, breathe in, filling up that space. And exhale, let it go. Another breath in here. And a breath out, sinking a little deeper into the floor. One more inhale. And exhale. And actually just take a few more breaths here at your own pace and take a moment to set an intention for your practice this morning. Maybe even for your day. Actually, let's just start with our practice. Set an intention for the next 20, 25 minutes. Maybe it's just connecting your body to your breath, or getting a little booty workout in, or maybe it's allowing yourself to lay here for the next 20 minutes. Let's take another breath in. And bring your knees into your chest, squeezing them in. And then exhale, just stay here. Let's inhale for legs up the wall, so straighten-ish through your legs. Keep a bend in your knees because our hamstrings are just waking up. And maybe you point and flex through your toes or rub the backs of your legs. Just taking a moment here to wake up your ankles, your toes, your hamstrings. And then let's just bring our feet down to the mat, bending at your knees. Place your hands by your side, your palms facing down. And scoot your heels a little bit closer to your glutes. And then inhale for a bridge. So peel your hips off the mat. And then exhale to lower down vertebrae by vertebrae. Yeah. Good. Then breathe in again, lifting your hips up. pushing your knees forward to do this. And then exhale, lower back down. Just waking up our back body right now. Breathe in again, lifting your hips high. And then exhale to stay here. Breathe in, option to come up on your toes. And then exhale to lower all the way down. And inhale, bring your knees back up to your chest. And just start to rock and roll lengthwise on your spine to a seated pose. So coming into cross-legged if that feels good. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. And exhale, just fold into a tabletop. So hands and knees pressing into your palms, pressing into the tops of your feet. So letting the tops of your feet find the mat. And then breathe in for a cow pose, opening up through your chest, dipping your belly, letting your tailbone lift. Exhale for cat, rounding through your spine, tailbone drops, belly comes to spine, chin to chest. Inhale for cow, opening up. Exhale for cat, really pushing through your palms here. Another breath in for cow, opening up. And a breath out for cat, rounding here. Breathe in, come back to tabletop. And breathe out, really ground through your left palm here. Inhale to sweep your right arm straight forward. And then exhale to sweep your left foot back, flexing through your toes here. So creating a line from your right fingertips to your left heel. And take a big breath in here. And exhale, bring your elbow to your knee underneath your body. Yeah. Inhale. One more time to reach it long. And then exhale for a supported side plank. So bring your right hand down and your left foot to the mat, spinning your right heel, behind you, and then peeling your left arm towards the sky. So it's like a side plank, but with a little extra help. So breathe in here and see if you can feel like you're reaching your fingertips even higher towards the sky, really opening up between your fingers. And then exhale, just reach your hand over your head. So stretching your side body here. So like reaching your hand, over towards, for us, the thumb. Inhale, reach your arm back up. And exhale, bring it all the way around to a tabletop again. Inhale for cow, opening up. Exhale for cat, rounding through your spine. Inhale for table. And exhale now to ground through your right palm. Breathe in and sweep your left hand forward. And then exhale and sweep your right foot back, flexing through your toes, lifting from your heel, feeling how this kind of wakes up your right booty cheek a little bit. And then breathe in, reaching a little bit longer. And exhale, bring your elbow to your knee underneath your body. Breathe in again to reach it long. Then exhale, supported side plank this side. So bringing your left hand back down, and then the inside of your right foot down as well. Spinning your left heel behind you, peeling your right arm up towards the sky. Breathe in here to reach your fingertips a little higher. And exhale to reach them overhead, just feeling the side body stretch here. Inhale again, reaching tall. And exhale back to table. Another breath in for a cow pose. And a breath out for cat. Inhale back to table. Exhale for downward facing dog. Hips come up and back, heels come towards the mat, almost making like a little tent with your body. And then just bend through your right knee and your left a few times here. Just again, continuing to warm up our hamstrings, just waking up. And then let's inhale, come high on both or all of our toes. Exhale, bend your knees and step your feet in between your hands for a forward fold. Take a breath in here and a breath out, allowing yourself to bend your knees a lot here if that feels good. And then slowly roll up to mountain pose, letting your hands come high. And let's exhale, sit it back to chair pose. So sinking your hips back. An option to bring your hands to heart center. And thinking about keeping the weight in your heels. You can always walk your feet out wider or closer together, whatever feels good. So keeping your weight in your heels, maybe even wiggling your toes to make sure that the weight is in your heels and that you can actually see your toes. If you can't see your toes, if you're not feeling this in your butt, maybe sit back a little bit, even if that means coming up. Just take a breath in here and a breath out. Another breath in and a breath out. Super strong here. And then breathe in for a right standing knee raise. So ground through your left heel and bring your right knee up. Yeah. And then let's exhale, step it back for high crescent lunge. Yep. It's okay if you don't do it in one like sweeping movement, but yeah, you got it.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. So just a big lunge here. You can help your balance by walking like your front foot out farther towards your mat. So you have a wider base of support if that feels good. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then bending through your front knee. You can have a little bend in your back knee. Arms can come high, arms can come to heart center. Whatever feels good. Let's take another breath in here. And a breath out, open it up to warrior two. So keeping your front knee bent and straight, toes pointed forward. Bring your spiral out to your back foot, making it kind of 90 degrees. If your hips are really tight, you can even turn your back knee or your back foot in a little bit. And then arms come to a T. Thinking about pushing your knee without actually pushing it towards your pinky toe, so it's not coming in. Let's breathe in here and breathe out. Inhale for a low lunge. So framing your back foot. And then let's inhale for a halfway lift. So bring your right foot to meet your left and bring your hands to your shins or your thighs, opening up through your heart here. And then let's exhale, come right back into chair. So sink your hips back, arms can come up, hands can come to heart center. You can even fly your arms back if that feels best. Yeah. So just taking a few breaths here, feeling really strong through your butt, through your hips, your thighs, really grounded through your heels here. Maybe noticing where your thoughts are, maybe noticing why you're thinking what you're thinking, or if you can shift your focus to how strong you are here. Let's take a breath in and come into a left standing knee raise. So grounding through your right heel, bringing your knee up. Remembering that it's really fucking early and it's okay if you can't hold this balance pose. Again, yoga's just taking what you need, noticing where your thoughts are going. Let's exhale, step it back to that high crescent lunge. So just a deep lunge here, stepping your left foot back. And then again, if you're feeling like extra wobbly, you can walk your front foot more towards the outside of your mat and bend again through that knee. You can always bring your hands to heart center or to your hips. Maybe noticing if your hips are in line or if you can bring your back hip forward and your forward hip back a little bit. Inhaling to reach your hands a little taller. Then exhale, open it up to warrior two. So keeping that bend in your front knee, spinning your back foot to 90 degrees, opening your arms out wide to a T. Yeah. And let's just breathe in here. And breathe out, maybe sinking a little more into your front knee, maybe even walking your back foot back a little bit. Yeah. Another breath in here. And a breath out for a low lunge. Framing your front foot. And then let's come to a halfway lift, hands to your shins or thighs. And then exhale, let's come to a downward facing dog. Hips come up and back, heels towards the mat. Breathe in, come high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees and step or hop for a forward fold in between your hands. Breathe in for a halfway lift. And exhale again to fold. Breathe in and come all the way up to mountain pose. Exhale, hands through heart center. We're going to pick that up a little bit, just matching our movements to our breath. Adding a few more in that will hold for a little bit longer, but this is going to be our big push here. So let's breathe in and exhale, sit it back to chair. Another breath in here and a breath out to sink a little deeper. Inhale, right standing knee raise. Exhale, high crescent lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, high crescent lunge again. And then let's inhale here for warrior three. So grounding through your left heel. Well, come off your back leg and just kind of pendulum it towards the sky, lifting from your heel. Option to bring your hands to heart center or to blocks if you have blocks. Another breath in here, super strong. Feel like you can lift your heel with your glute here. So really engaging through your right butt cheek here, really strong through your left. And let's inhale back to high crescent lunge, stepping it back. Awesome. Exhale, open it back up to warrior two. Inhale for 5-pointed star. So bring your feet parallel, tuck your hips and your tailbone, and then sweep your arms out and up, fingertips coming wide, taking up a lot of space here. Big breath in, and a breath out brings us to a wide-legged forward fold. So just allowing yourself, maybe you bend your knees here, maybe you grab your ankles, or walk your hands behind you. Just taking a minute to breathe. Let's inhale for a halfway lift. So maybe tent your fingertips and reach your heart forward. And then exhale to a low lunge here. So spinning towards the front of your mat, bending through your front knee. And then breathe in for a halfway lift. So let your feet meet, hands come to shins or thighs. Exhale back to a downward facing dog. Hips come up and back, heels towards the mat. Breathe in, come high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees and step or hop to a forward fold. It's early, it's all good. We're just doing our best, guys. Inhale for a halfway lift again, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale to lower. Breathe in for mountain, hands sweep high. And then exhale, sit it back down to chair. This is our last chair today. Final push here. So really feel grounded in your heels. Maybe even think about pushing your mat away in opposite directions, like with the outsides of your feet. Or like you have a rubber band around your thighs and you're trying to keep it tight. Just super, super strong here. Maybe you come up, maybe you pulse a little bit. Just take what you need if you want a little more challenge or a little less. Inhale for a left standing knee raise, so grounding through your right heel. Yep. Exhale, high crescent lunge, step it back. Breathe in here. And exhale, open it up to warrior two. Another inhale back to high crescent lunge. Exhale to sink. And then inhale for warrior three, so grounding through your front heel. Peel your back foot off of the mat. Option to keep your arms lifted, hands to heart center. Option to find blocks with your hands. Whoa. Keeping a little bit of a bend in your front knee. Really lifting from your heel here, your left heel. So you feel this in your glute. Keeping your abs tight. So strong holding yourself up here. I'm sweating. Let's exhale back to that high crescent lunge. Yeah. We made it, guys. Breathe in, opening up to warrior 2 one last time. And then take it up to a 5-pointed star. So bring your feet to be parallel. Hands reaching wide. Fingertips really wide. Tucking your tailbone under. And then exhale, lower it down to a wide-legged forward fold. Taking a few rounds of breath here for whatever feels good. Maybe grabbing your ankles again or finding stillness. Walking your hands behind you. And let's inhale for a halfway lift. So maybe tenting your fingertips, bringing your heart forward. Yeah, like flattening your back a little bit. Feeling like your shoulder blades are coming together here. And then exhale for a low lunge, top of your mat, framing your foot. And inhale for a halfway lift, stepping your feet to meet, hands come to shins or thighs. And then exhale back to a downward facing dog. Last one here, breathing in. And breathe out, just let your knees find the mat. We're gonna come into a child's pose. So knees can stay where they are or they can come wide, toes come to touch. Maybe even bring your knees to the outside of your mat and reach your arms forward if that feels good at letting your forehead find the mat. If your shoulders need a little extra love, you can bend your elbows, maybe even resting your forehead on your palms, or you can wrap your hands behind your legs. Maybe you rub your forehead back and forth on the mat. Taking a breath in here and a breath out. Another breath in and a breath out. We'll take like 5 more rounds of breath here at your own pace. Ready, just come back up and find your way to a seated position, and we'll take figure 4. So you can do this on your back if that feels good, or you can do it seated, just crossing your right ankle over your left thigh here. If this is enough, stay here. If you want a little more, I would invite you to come to your back and maybe push your right knee out a little bit with your right hand, or interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and pull a little bit towards you. You could even try straightening your left leg, seeing what that feels like. Take another breath in here. And then exhale for a supine twist, but keep your legs how they are and just let them fall to the left side. So letting the sole of your right foot find the mat. Twisting so that your right foot finds the mat. If this, maybe scooting back a little bit. Are you okay? Yeah, okay. And if this doesn't feel good, you can uncross your legs and just let your knees fall on top of each other. And then do whatever feels good with your arms. So if it feels really good to open them up today, do that. If you want to get more into your chest, bend your elbows. If you want to just find somewhere on your body, that's cool. Does that feel okay?
Feels different.
Do you feel it in your right?
Like right here.
Yep. That's it. If it's uncomfortable, you can just bring your knees on top of each other.
Okay.
Let's inhale, bring it back up through center, and then just switch. So bringing your left heel over your right thigh, and maybe staying here. Maybe you're still seated, or maybe you're back to being seated, and then you can maybe push your knee out with your left hand if that feels good, or interlace your fingers behind your right thigh, pulling towards you, maybe even straightening your leg, pointing and flexing your toe again. Macy is the real star of this yoga session. And she knows it.
She's like, you guys are doing it all wrong.
Take another breath in here. And exhale, let your legs fall off towards the right side, adjusting as you need if you are also in a studio apartment. And letting the sole of your right foot find the ground, or if that doesn't feel good, just letting your knees fall on top of each other. Doing whatever feels good with your arms, whether that's opening them up to a T, bending at the elbows, finding somewhere on your body, or giving a dog some love. I think this is just as therapeutic as doing yoga. Honestly. Inhale, come back to your center. And just hug your knees into your chest. And then exhale, let them, let your legs fall long. We'll come into our Shavasana, our final resting pose. If there's anything else you want to take before we go into this pose, go for it. Any other stretches, movements, whatever. If you are ready for your Shavasana, if you want something more traditional, you can let your legs come out long, hands can come by your side. I like to bring one hand to my heart and one hand to my belly because it helps me connect back to my breath and just makes me feel like I'm really connecting to myself. You can bring the soles of your feet together if you want more of a hip opener, or if your low back is sore or tight, maybe you bend your knees, letting your feet find the ground, your knees not together. But we'll just be here for another minute or two, just resting, noticing our breath, maybe setting an intention for the rest of your day. was my cue to get up. So you're welcome to stay here, obviously, as long as you'd like. But if you're ready to start your day, start to wake up again through your body, maybe wiggling through your fingers and your toes, maybe reaching your arms forward for a good morning stretch, really reaching through your fingertips all the way through your toes. Woo! Yeah. And then just roll off to one side, does not matter which side. And then push your way up to a seated position. And yeah, thanks so much for joining us and for making time for yourself to practice. Hopefully you're feeling a little more ready to take on your day. Yeah. Let's inhale and reach our arms up overhead one more time. And exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Again, thank you so much. And thank you to the people in the culture that created this practice that we all benefit from. And yeah, hope you guys all have a really, really great day. Bye. I look a little crazy.